Hey everybody on YouTube. Today I thought I'd do another vintage video repair or Q&A, or in this case it's going to be another follow-up video to my repair on this Sanyo VTC-7100. I'm getting a lot of emails about this machine, so I hope people don't mind me posting follow-ups as it progresses as I finish repairing this machine for a customer in Los Angeles. A lot of people have been asking me, can I fix their machine? I would like to point this out to the average user or average home person who may own one of these. This is a very expensive repair. If I do it, it's not cheap. My skills in repairing this machine it's very lengthy. I have to search out parts. It's the labor-intensive work. It's very expensive. So if you're looking for me to repair your machine, if you own one of these, I don't think it'd be a good idea unless you do have a budget or have the funds to do this. It's a very expensive repair. But then again, I'm posting videos on the repair of this unit. There's a lot of problems. There's so many parts you cannot get anymore. I mean, it is unbelievable. I was able to come across all the common repair parts for this machine, but there's 3 very difficult parts on this machine you cannot get. And if they're shorted out, which on this one and several of the units that were given to me for repairs, they all had the same issue. They were in very poor condition from being turned on or somebody messing with them and losing parts and breaking parts and you name it. So if you own this machine, and I've been getting a lot of emails from people in Europe, about at least 5 or 6 different people who have contacted me that have this unit. Trust me, it's a very expensive repair, and on top of it, you can't just take this and have somebody repair this unit. This takes a lot of skill and a lot of know-how to be able to get this machine to work. There's a lot involved working on this machine because of the fact it's so obsolete. But then again, it's a very unusual format, and there just is not any parts out there for this. All right, today I want to point out actually a little bit of a follow-up. First of all, on the units that were given to me, the actual video heads are no good on it. Believe it or not, I've checked all the heads on all 3 of these units, and it's not that the heads are shorted out. It's that people tried to clean the video heads, and they broke the corners off of the video tips itself. So when you do that, it doesn't get a proper scan, so the video head's virtually useless. Well, all 3 of these units look like somebody or whoever had these units at the time, they're either cleaning them with Q-tips or they were trying to clean them with chamois or something, and they've actually broke the heads on these units, which is not a problem for me because I actually made video heads for this unit. As you can see, I got a disc and I found very similar video heads from an earlier Sanyo unit that were like new, and I actually custom made a video head disc for this unit. This guy is going to be very, very happy because you cannot get video heads for this machine. But I actually custom made a video disc with new head tips on this thing to replace the ones that are broke on all 3 of these units that are absolutely useless. So that is a God-given miracle right there, but I've been making video heads for a lot of my machines for a very long time, so it wasn't that big of a deal for me because I had heads that would replace those perfectly. All right. Now we're going to talk about some of the difficult problems. This machine has a lot of problems with basically early parts. The biggest problem is coils, okay? Each part of this machine has several coils. The one record playback board uses coils for the video heads. All right, several of the coils were shorted out from the unit trying to be played for whatever the reason was, because the capacitors and everything in the world was dried out on these machines. It shorted out the coils. Each one of the coils is different. They're not the same part numbers, so I was not able to cannibalize them off the other machines because those coils are just as bad, so I was not able to come up with the coils from the parts that I have on hand. I did locate coils across the pond, I guess, in Paris. And a buddy of mine in vintage electronics in Paris, his dad had a very old service center, and he did happen to have a couple of those coils, which was pure luck that I needed. So I was able to purchase those out of Paris, France. I do have those coming. Also, I want to point out, my buddy in Paris, France, he actually he had a UK, or what you call it, a European service manual for this machine, because this machine was used in Europe. So they did, there was a European version of it, which exactly parts-wise was the same. All right, the biggest problem I'm having is a Capistan motor coil. And what that is you got these Capistan motor coils which control the actual braking and sync of the Capistan. These coils, the one I have is absolutely shorted out. Okay. So I figured, okay, I can't find one, then I'll make one. Well, I'll tell you, this week has been pretty amazing. Absolutely amazing. From the European service manual sheet the man sent me, it actually tells you the diameter of the wire, which is beautiful, but it also tells you the ohms of the winding. When the disc itself is completely wound, it gives you the value of the ohms, while the American version service manual does not give you that. So I was totally screwed, because I can't find a replacement part and I can't find the specifications of this little coil. Well, my very good friend in Paris, France, I couldn't thank him enough for sending me that scan. It gave me the value of the coil, and it actually gave me the type of wire that in the diameter of the wire that was used. Okay, in this case, the wire that was used is a 0.16 millimeter. It's a very fine wire, and it's coated like clear coated, so that way you can wind it and use it, and the wire isn't touching each other. It's a clear coated wire. It's a 0.16 millimeter, and the funny thing is, on the EIJ reel-to-reels, you have a braking coil, as you can see in this picture, and this is exactly a 0.16 millimeter, and it's clear coated. It's the exact wire. I didn't even have to search out the wire, because there, certain values and sizes are very hard to get, but this is the exact same wire, and this is used on a Sony machine. Well, I took the coil wrapping off of this coil that was used on an EIJ reel-to-reel machine, and I actually spun the disc and rewound the disc itself to the right diameter, and I got the exact ohms that the specifications requires for this disc. So we were able to actually make a disc for the unit, which is the braking coil. Amazing, folks. I mean, this is just an amazing repair. If it wasn't for my buddy in Paris, France, I would not know the specifications of making a braking system coil for this Capistan motor. The one that was on here was completely shorted out, and without that coil, this machine is useless. You're not going to be able to get the video to stabilize. I was just blown away that I was able to come up with a quick, ingenious solution to this, making my own coil, having the wire, having the right type of wire, and having the correct ohms. I was able to spin the correct coil for this machine. Amazing, folks. But anyways, that's pretty much where I'm at this moment. I made video heads for this machine. I was able to fix the really hard to make copper winding coil for the Capistan, which was a real problem. I was really having an issue with that, and I was able to solve the issue and come up with a quick solution. But like I said, folks, this is a lot of time, a lot of labor. I don't just fix this machine for people. It's very expensive, and you can't get parts for these machines. But if you seriously have this machine and want me to fix it, and you have a budget, just keep in mind it's not going to be cheap. But anyways, I'm very close to having this machine fixed. This is probably going to be probably the only one in the entire country or world probably that's actually going to work. And so, if you have any more questions about this machine, feel free to drop me an email. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.